The second half of 11.1 has us interpreting data in a different way. Let's start off by looking at what's called a box and whisker plot. A box and whisker plot is just a visual display used to show information about data. The 5 key features that we're going to be looking for are median, lower extreme, lower quartile, and upper extreme. The median is just the middle number or the average of 2 middle numbers. You'll have to decide if the number of your values is even or odd to determine if you have a true median or if you have to calculate it. The second value you're going to want to determine is simply the lower extreme number, and we'll identify that as LE. That's the lowest data point in your set. The next 2 data points to calculate are the upper and lower quartiles. The lower quartile will actually be the median of the lower half of your data once you determine where your median is. The upper quartile will then be the value that's the median of the upper half of your data. Last but not least, we need that upper extreme. And like lower extreme, just on the opposite end, that is the highest data point. Similar to calculating mean, median, and mode, we will have to make sure to put these values in order from smallest to biggest. From there, we'll actually create our box and whisker plot, and I'll show you below what that looks like. We will have to calculate the inner quartile range, and we define that as IQR. Now, the inner quartile range is just the difference from the upper and lower quartiles, just the range of those values. We'll take the upper quartile minus the lower quartile, and it's just a value. To determine if there are outliers are numbers within your data set that just don't quite fit with the rest of the data. Once you determine the IQR, we multiply the IQR by 1.5. There we go. We subtract it from the lower quartile and then look for values that are lower than that number. And then we add it to the upper quartile and look for values that are greater than that. If there are no data points above or below those 2 values, then there are no outliers. And that's what we do in that step 4. We check for those other data points. All right, let's go ahead and put this all together. In our first example, it says the scores for the first round of an archery competition are as follows. And we have a wide variety of numbers. We're asked to create a box plot or a box and whisker plot of that data. The first thing we need to do is write the numbers from smallest to biggest. Let's count how many there are. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like there are 10 data points. Pause the video and just rewrite them in order from smallest to biggest. When you're ready, press play and we'll create the box plot for that data. Be sure you have all 10 data points listed before we move on to the rest of our values. It looks like I have my 10 here. Let's create our box plot for our data set. The first thing we start off with is the median. So we're just going to go M for median. Now, if you have an even number of data points, there isn't a true median value. The median is going to be the average of the 2 numbers around it. So what we need to do here is just add 111 and 113 and divide by 2. And that would give us 112, just kind of right in the middle. That's our median data point, or median value within that data point. Notice in red, that kind of splits our data in half. So let's look on the lower end of this now. The lower half of our data includes that 111 because it's not part of the median. So I need the lower extreme. That would be 97, the lowest data point, and the lower quartile. And that would be the median of this lower half. So my lower quartile is 106. And then we'll hop over to the other side of our data. Now again, the median is in the middle of 2 data points, so 113 is included on that right-hand side. My upper quartile is the median of that top half, which would be 114, right in the middle. And our upper extreme, the highest data point in our set, is 120. Those are the values that you need to create your box and whisker plot. So we start off by creating a number line. And our number line has to be sure to include our extremes. So we need to have 97 to fit and also 120. Now, as we create our number line, the goal is to make it kind of divide it up as evenly as possible. I'm not going to use these actual numbers when I create the dashes. I'm just going to start maybe like this is 90, and maybe we'll go 95, 100, 105, 110, 115, 120, 125. So I'm going to go 90 here, 100, 110, 120. You go ahead and create your number line. And you can count by 5s, you can count by 10s, you can count by 2s if you want. But do the number line first, and then we'll put our data points on here. I'm going to start off with my median. So I'm going to approximate 112. 112 is between 110 and 115, so my median is just going to be a vertical dash, kind of like what it looks like with my data set. I'm going to put that right here. There's my median value. I'm also going to do the same kind of idea with my quartiles. My lower quartile is at 106. I know that this data point right here is 105, so I'm just going to go slightly to the left of that to represent that data point. And I'm actually going to go to my other quartile as well, 114. I know that this number is 115, so I need to go slightly to the left of that. Now what I'm going to actually do is create the box. It's going to kind of look like a rectangle that connects my quartiles with my median. All right, now let's go to the extremes. The lower extreme is all the way down at 97. So I'm going to put a dot somewhere between 95 and 100, kind of in the middle, and then connect it to my lower quartile, just like so. So that's kind of like the whisker in the box and whisker plot. On the opposite end, my upper extreme is 120. Put that over here on the right and connect that to that upper extreme. And that's creating a box and whisker plot, or a box plot, just kind of comparing your data visually on a number line system. Now it says, do there appear to be any outliers? Well, the first thing we need to do is determine our IQR, our inner quartile range. To do that, I'm just going to go IQR equals, now order matters. We're going to do upper quartile minus lower quartile. We want a positive range value. That's just 114 minus 106. And our IQR is 8. The data range is 8 between the two quartiles. Now we multiply that, our step 1, we multiply that by 1.5. And 8 times 1.5 is 12. Step 2, on the lower end, I'm going to take my lower quartile minus the IQR. So lower quartile was 106 minus 12, and that gives me 94. Oh, I'm going to squeeze this in. Sorry, I'll put this over here. There should be more room here. My apologies, everybody. Then we're going to take our upper quartile and actually add the IQR to it. The upper quartile is 114, and if I add 12, I'm all the way up to 126. Now, based on these two numbers, if I go back to my data set, there aren't any values lower than 94. So there are no data points that are outliers below on the lower side. On the upper end, my highest data point was 120, so nothing's bigger than 126. Based on the IQR rule, there are no outliers in our system. And there you go, box plot, and then creating the IQR to determine whether or not there are any outliers. Let's try another example. The data below give the number of trials required by 9 puppies to learn a new trick. We already know how many terms there are. There are 9 data points because there's 9 puppies. First thing we want you to do is write these in order from least to greatest. Then we'll determine mean, lower extreme and lower quartile, upper quartile and upper extreme to create our box plot. Pause the video and line up the numbers. Be sure to have all 9 represented, and we'll go from there. Do you have all 9 data points represented? If so, let's move on. If not, pause the video and just verify that quickly. Now remember, the median is the middle number, and with an odd number of data points, we have a true median. 21 is the number right in the middle of all of our data. So 21 is the median. Pretty simple. But here's what makes it a little tricky for the rest of our data points. On the lower half of our data, now notice we only have 4 data points. We don't have an odd number this time. We don't include our median if it's a true median to the data point. The lower extreme, though, that's easy enough. That's 5. The lower quartile, though, is going to be the middle of the 2 inside-most points on that lower half. So halfway between 19 and 19 is still 19. So that wasn't really too difficult to navigate. But let's check out the right-hand side just to be sure. For our upper quartile, notice if we look at the top half of our data, we're going to be between 23 and 24. So if we add those two together and divide by 2, we'd be at 23.5, right in the middle. And then our upper extreme is 25. There's our data points. We want to go from 5 to 25. I would say just try to divide up your number line first. We'll get it as accurate as possible, and then we'll plot our points from there. If I have to go to 5, I'm going to start at 0. And we need to go up to 25. So I would say maybe try 30. So here's 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, I'm not going to have enough room. See, you just kind of have to divvy it up and hope for the best. But I need to kind of make mine a little smaller. Here we go. So if I go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'll go with that. Here's 10, 20, and 30 over here on the right. Now let's start with our median. Our median was 21. So I'm just going to go to the right of 20 on my number line. My lower quartile is 19, so I'm just barely on the other side of that quartile. And my upper quartile is 23.5, so kind of in the middle on the right-hand side. And we'll create the box in our box plot just by connecting through the median to each of those quartile values. Now take a look at my lower extreme. It's way down here at 5. I'm guessing that might be an outlier when we're done. So, oops, got to connect it in blue, wrong color. There we go. We'll connect that all the way to the left. Oh, try to get it to the middle, but that's as good as that one's going to get for me. On the right, 25. That's not too far away. I'm guessing that might not be an outlier. There we go. So there's our visual representation of our data. And now let's take a look at determining whether or not we have any outliers. We start off by determining the IQR. And remember, that's just upper quartile minus lower quartile. So that's 23.5 minus 19. And that would give us just 4.5. So step 1, we're going to multiply that IQR by 1.5. This is important to have a calculator. This will give us 6.75. Step 2 on that low end, remember we take our lower quartile and we subtract the IQR. So if we take 19 minus, I don't want to put a decimal there, 19 minus 6.75. That drops us all the way down to 12.25. And then on the other end, if we take our upper quartile, if I could get my pen to work, there we go, our upper quartile, and we add the IQR, 23.5, there we go, plus 6.75. Wow, that already puts us even off our graph, 30.25. So as we check for outliers, on that lower end, if I want to be below 12.25, yeah, that 5 is in fact an outlier. So the puppy who could learn the trick in 5 trials, it's a pretty smart puppy. On the other end, 30.25, there isn't anything beyond that on the right, so there are no outliers on that end. That makes 5 the only outlier in our data set. The final concept in 11.1 is just comparing statistics within a group of data. It says the data sets shown are the average wait times before being seen by a dentist at 2 different offices. We're going to calculate the mean, median, and mode for each office and then compare our stats. Now, in the essence of saving time, I've already done this work for us. Please write this down as I kind of give you a quick description of what I've determined. The mean for each group. For A, you wait on average of 21.89 minutes before you're seen by the dentist. For B, it's only 16. Median is the middle of your data set, a little higher for A, 20. The median for B was only 18. The modes really aren't going to give you a lot of statistical inference for your data. There were no modes for A, and there was a mode of 18 for B. That one occurred the most. So compare the statistics and draw one or more conclusions. What do you notice about the data? If you were going to describe this data to somebody, thinking about the wait times at a dentist office, what do you notice? Typically, the most common response is that office B, office B has shorter wait times, at least with the data set that we're observing. So just kind of like making connections with what is this data or the statistics of this data telling us. And that's 11.1.